iyi ntambara yo muri Kongo mureba ntabwo yatangijwe n'u Rwanda, ntabwo yaturutse mu Rwanda. Bose mu byandike, mu bisuzume, mu bikurikirane, ababishidikanyaho murabimenya ukuri kwabo. Intambara yaturutse ahandi, ntabwo yaturutse hano mu Rwanda. Aho handi sinirwa mpasubiramo, narahavuze sinirwa nongera kuhasubiramo. Yaturutse kuri Kongo ariko ituruka n'ahandi, uko babigenje hagati yabo ibyo ntabwo bindeba. Ariko muri Kongo ikibazo u Rwanda rufitemo ni iki? Ikibazo u Rwanda rufite muri Kongo kijyanye n'interahamwe ziri hariya na politiki na ideology ishingiye kuri genocide, kandi bigahora iteka batunga u Rwanda urutoki ngo turaje bagenze nk'uko twabagenje ubushize. Ubushize murabuzi ko byabaye, ubushize murakuzi. Sinzi niba mutegereje ubushize abo bwahitanye kuba aribo babyivugira. Ibyo rero nabyo bikongera ibyo navugaga bituruka hanze, bikaba ko turi muri Kongo gushaka amabuye y'agaciro, ko aricyo gituma dufitanye ibibazo na Kongo. Bikaba ko u Rwanda rwacu ari rutoya, dushaka kujya muri Kongo kugira ngo turwagure. Impamvu zikaba nyinshi, bakahimba impamvu, ariko bakanyura iruhande rw'ikibazo kimwe bazi nabo bagizemo uruhare, kijyanye n'interahamwe ziri hariya muri Kongo. Interahamwe zari zaratujwe, interahamwe zahawe imbunda, ari abari basanzwe babizi, abashya bagirwa ingabo za Kongo, cyangwa se ku rundi ruhande zirakora. Loni UN ijya gushyira ziriya ngabo za UN muri Kongo, MONUSCO, mwibwira ko bazishyiriye kugira ngo bigende gute? Kuki barinze gushyirayo ingabo za Loni muri Kongo? Ariko kugeza n'ubu iyo uvuga Loni rero ntabwo umuntu yumva neza icyo uba uvuga, cyangwa iyo uvuga international community, whether UN or international community, they more or less add up to nothing, because the UN is everybody, but at the same time it is nobody. The international community is all of us, but actually it is none of us when it comes to some of these problems. So you don't know who to hold responsible. who is supposed to be held responsible? In the end, the convenient path is to find a culprit, to find somebody else who is responsible, and that becomes Rwanda. When you talk about Rwanda, you know what you're talking about. It is this small country of ours, you, me, and others. But when you say international community, you really, who are you talking about? Now, that force was put there. I just use a simple explanation to try and cut the long story short. Many times, I meet the ambassadors of countries credited here, either best here or best outside. Or I meet government ministers of different countries. And when you are talking about this problem of Congo, one of the many questions they ask is always, how many Interahamwe are there in Congo? How many FDLR? In other words, what they are trying to say is, you have turned it into such a big problem when actually they say some of them are old. They are 90 years old. Say, but if you are saying they are 90 years old, it means they are there. But to become 90 years old, if you have children that you train and put in their heads this kind of ideology, and they end up being militias or fighters within FDLR, I mean, how does being 90 years old become irrelevant? How? So they ask me, how many? The easiest answer for me sometimes is, why don't you ask the UN forces you put there? You sent these forces to go and deal with this problem, among others. So they should really be telling you how many or what they are doing. Second, I answer them on issue of hate speech. How do you count the numbers? If the president of the country, that is Congo, or his assistants or heads of different institutions publicly talk about genocide, talk about attacking Rwanda, talk about all kinds of things as relates to genocide ideology. How do you count that in numbers? So you tell me how many give such a speech? Well, I also tell you, even if you think there are few who give such a speech, there are millions who are listening. And among them, they are recruited into that, and they become part of the threat that Rwanda faces. Others come and say, Yeah, but Rwanda, I think you are strong enough. I have not understood the meaning. Is it strong enough to do what? To sit back and be run over? I said, is that what you do in your own countries? I